So this is Ryan Fowler, and I'm here with my good friend Anup. And Anup, we just did a session. Is this second session now? Is that right?
It is, yeah, second.
And your first session was about a year and a half ago. So thank you for being willing to share. Just maybe share your experience about, this is going on YouTube, so you don't share anything you don't want to, but just tell us how these two sessions have helped you. The first one, you had a year and a half between the first one till now. So maybe talk about yourself, what you struggle with, and we'll start with the first session. How things changed for you in the year and a half between your first session and now. Did they change?
Um, I mean, I barely recognize my life anymore from back then
Wow, how's
because
it different?
everything,
That's a
just
big statement,
everything.
bro.
I mean, it is so different. It's
That was one
different.
session, but go
That
ahead.
was that was one very long session.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's how I do it. I'm all in.
yeah. I mean, so the biggest thing that I noticed, the biggest thing I wanted to work on was, my procrastination, my interactions with family. Those were the pressing pain points at that time.
Yeah, back in December 2020, so about a year and a half
Yeah.
ago. Okay, and so we went in, we did a session, and what happened?
Um, I mean, it's just safe to say that I don't procrastinate on important things or even small things. It's hard. It's unbelievable when I say that, but um, it's just rare. There's just there's never a reason to procrastinate. You just do what you have to do because you have a good reason to do it, and then you take it from there. You go with what you know.
How
And
much did you procrastinate before our first session?
a lot, honestly. I think it felt like most days was just anxiety filled. You know,
Yeah.
uh, I'm not on a task that I know. It's just anxiety and procrastination, and then the dread of, you know, the fact that I'm procrastinating, and then just like self-loathing and more criticism with myself.
Yeah, so before self-loathing, criticism, lots of procrastination. So what percent of that did we solve with that one session, and was that permanent?
It's whatever we solved is still,
Year and a
it's
half
still,
later, it's still feeling the effects, the positive effects. Is that right?
yeah, the positive effects. I mean, it's hard to articulate how much one session has changed my life because yeah, well, some of the details, but literally everything, every aspect of my life is changed. It all began with what you did, and there was all
Thank
those
you.
beliefs
Yeah, you're
and
welcome.
all that. Well, I'll just call it silly beliefs, but it's all that trauma belief, all that mess just piled up, sitting inside of you. Uh,
So you had this inner trauma. We got rid of a big chunk, and then big difference for you. Is that right?
yes, massive.
And
Just
what was causing your procrastination before? What do you think?
it was just well, to put it bluntly, it was just toxic shame. Just
Yeah,
affected
man.
everything. The
The whole I'm not good
procrastination.
enough, right?
Yeah, I didn't even deserve to do a basic task. Something as simple as cleaning my room was hard
Mm-hmm.
to get through, but now it's just okay. It's just cleaning your room.
So what are like the good improvements in your life now? You're not procrastinating, but has your life improved in other ways?
The the opportunities that have come by and the increase in how much I make, active income, investments, how I think about things, how I interact with people, so much different. Like it's just more and more. It's just that there isn't enough time to talk about it. There's just a lot, but like the obvious improvement was the salary and switching job. Before it was just like dread. Even though I've done I've been uh in technology for more than like nearly 15, 16 years. There was a lot of anxiety. So like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm good at this. I'm just like, I have no idea
Mhm.
why. And definitely um, had a harder time asking for, a rate that I know I can pull off and I
Yeah,
deserve.
because deep down you're like, I don't deserve more because I'm not good enough.
Yeah, it's this now. It's just it's funny because I ask and they're like, yeah, okay.
Isn't that great? And you know what? When you like have more confidence, when you believe in yourself more, people believe in you more and they treat you better. And they're like, yeah, he is worth more. They just feel your vibe. They look at the work you do too, of course. But are you okay sharing maybe as a percentage, like is your salary or your income up 20%, 30%? You said an increase, 50 double. You don't have to give a dollar number, whatever, if you're
No,
comfortable.
it's pretty much 100% increase.
So it doubled in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man. It happens all the I'm not guaranteeing my clients this happens, but it happens a lot. So congrats to you. Um, so anything else you want to share about the progress between the first session and now? Because we just finished your second, but up to this point before taking the second session, any other improvements you want to mention?
I mean, life is just in general, it's a lot easier now, I would say. I mean, don't worry about the tangible things. I wouldn't like like get your beliefs in order. You'll find that
Mm-hmm.
your life just improves. So one of the things was, as silly as it sounds, signing up for it. Like I always wanted to take jujitsu on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Signing up for it it was one of the many things that I procrastinated on. But it was just, after that I just walked into a gym and it was like, hey, I want to check stuff out. They're like, yeah, sure. And
Nice.
I've been doing it since uh yeah, since like started looking around like January, February, and I'm still doing it to this day. So
And was that January this year or 2021?
no, that was 2021.
Oh, nice. So you do the session in December and then January, boom, sign up. So let's talk about procrastination because this is a good lesson for people watching. So what I tell people, our brain's designed to go towards familiar, away from unfamiliar, but a stronger program is a brain motivates us towards pleasure, and above all, brain motivates us to avoid pain. What happens for many people with anxiety, they procrastinate. Procrastination, anxiety, it's all about avoiding stuff. And what I tell people is if you have toxic shame in you, how our subconscious works is we have subconscious programs in us. They are beliefs tied to feelings. And as adults, it all forms in our childhood. As adults, we go through the world, our subconscious automatically scanning everything around us. Anytime there is a situation that is a pattern match in the outside world for the program in us, it spikes the feeling tied to that program. So if you have a feeling, I'm not good enough, I'm worthless, I can't get what I want, it's hopeless, I'm incapable, the feeling tied to that is going to be, what kind of feeling was it for you?
Oh, uh, to the
When you felt not
procrastination.
good enough and like you failed or something to spike that feeling, what was that feeling?
It was like it was really a sense of hopelessness.
Yeah, and good or bad
Just
feeling, was it painful, pleasurable, neutral?
it was, yeah, it was dreadful. It was horrible.
Yeah. So with anxiety, procrastination is going to be, if I do this task, I might mess it up. And if I mess it up, I'm going to feel terrible. Or sometimes people feel terrible because they just never do it. They're like, if I don't do it, I'm lazy and I feel terrible. And all our brain sees is, here's a task. And if it goes wrong, you're going to feel pain. And your brain doesn't want you to feel pain because that toxic chain is in you. It will be horrible if you mess it up. Do you feel that? And so we get rid of that, and then there's no more need to procrastinate because like if I mess it up, I'm still good enough. It's no big deal. I'll just do it again. And can you identify with that model there that I've just kind of outlined?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I don't frame it um, more. I frame it in a better way. Essentially, everything is
How do you
just
frame it?
so it's not failure; it's just feedback. Really,
Cool. Nice.
it's yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. It's a huge part of what came out of that session, and your feedback, and your how you asked me to talk to myself
Hmm.
or like brace things. That's kind of the end result.
Yeah, we went over
Was
self-talk
don't
too. So good self-talk and avoiding criticism, that's helped too.
Yeah, I mean, previously everything was extreme, I would say.
Yeah.
Everything is like labeled as failure, blah blah
Hmm.
blah, even small mistakes. Uh Once all that went away and everything was just framed better, just life got easier. And
All right.
uh,
Yeah. So for you guys listening, if you get rid of toxic shame, then if you mess up or something goes wrong, you don't feel not good enough anymore. That doesn't get triggered in you because it's not in you. So that potential for pain isn't there. So your brain doesn't have to avoid doing things to avoid feeling pain. So your procrastination goes way down or away. Your anxiety goes way down or away. And that's more or less your situation. Would you agree?
yes.
And then you just feel better and you're kicking ass. People make more money, more confident. Other people, have you know, have people treated you differently since you cleared up that out?
Yes, I mean, obviously if um family treats me differently.
How's that?
It's They interact well. Before it would be just arguments, or you're
Mm-hmm.
just it's you're really counting time between arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Just just I can't help it. It was just like they would just say something silly. It wouldn't be that malicious, or it doesn't have to be. It's just like triggers. Just the pain from before would just come up,
Yeah, I
and
get
you're
triggered.
before
Yeah.
you yeah, and before you know it, you're in an argument. You're in an argument, but now it's just they're you can accept them as they are. They're doing them. You don't have to react to it. You don't have to prove them wrong. You're just like, okay, sure. You do you.
And you're
Doesn't affect
cool.
me. Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Awesome. So we did a session now. What would you like to share about this session we did today? You feel that helped or you're not sure?
I mean, I can't wait to see the benefits. It's well, you showed quite a lot. We went through quite a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and
You think
again,
we
there
did
was
something?
oh yeah, especially when you read out that the statement and the change at the beginning of the session when you read it out the first time. It was like I could really feel it. It was a 7 or 8,
Yeah.
6, 7 or 8. Really, it was yeah. It stayed there for a while, but the last time you read it, they were just words on a document.
Yeah.
It's
So you had another bad program in you were struggling with, needed help with, and now how much of it do you think is there or you're not sure?
I barely feel it, but let's just say it's mostly gone. I have no idea.
Very good. So you get self hypnosis along with this session. So if any of it pops up, you do that, nip it in the bud, get rid of the rest. And then of course we put a lot of good stuff in you too, more confidence, more self-belief, etc. All that good stuff is, and so I really appreciate you being willing to share this with our audience. Anup, is there anything you'd like to tell anyone who's watching this or thinking of, doing anything along these lines or who struggles?
Yeah, I mean, I think we hear it a lot, but I don't think I don't think everyone actually believes it, that a lot of our problems are in our head, or
That
the
what is in your
changes.
head?
A lot of our beliefs or trauma really affect or kind of at the starting points for our current circumstances,
Yeah.
and changing a lot of how you frame it, how you see things, and how that trauma affects you actually ends up changing your physical circumstances. So,
Yeah. And then your income doubles and now you're doing jujitsu regularly and feeling better. And it's my honor and pleasure to serve you. You guys know I used to have really bad manic depression, and I cured 60% over 15 years psychotherapy, but big chunk it can never touch. And then I started doing this in 2 months gone, and then just clearing stuff. My income quadrupled. Things just doing great. So now I'm doing it for others. So it's my honor and pleasure to be able to help you out. Anup, any final thoughts from you?
No, that's it.
All right, thanks. So thank you for sharing. And guys, this stuff really works. Thank you, Anup.